women's doubles players come onto court. It's the reigning champions and number 2 seeds Gao Ling and Huang up against the number 6 seeds from Japan, Kumiko Ogura and Reiko Shiota. Yao Li Na, the umpire for this women's doubles semi-final. She's from Malaysia. So the reigning champions, Gao Ling and Huang Sui. China not only reigning champions, but 3 times winners of the World Championship. First of all in Seville in 2001, and then in Birmingham 2003. And last year, of course, in Madrid. And just for good measures, they have a silver medal as well. That was in Anaheim, in California in 2005. So for the Japanese pair, Kumiko Ogura and Reiko Shiota. Ogura and Shiota, we're just looking at their path through to today's semi-final. Only one seeded pair, that was the Indonesians, Indang and Oreni. And then in the quarterfinal, beat the pair from Chinese Taipei, Zhao Jiaqi and Hu Peiting. 2 straight games, so the only problems they had was against the Malaysians in that second round. Hong Chu Yen and Mu Hong Yao got the open game there. Japanese players have been playing together since they were juniors, since 2001. And indeed, the Chinese pair also formed their partnership in 2001, beginning this is their 7th year within this partnership. And their path through to today's semi-final, my goodness, what a thriller they had late last night. Having first of all disposed of the number 15 seeds from Denmark, Lena Freya Christensen and Camilla Ruta Juhl in 2 very easy games, 21-5, 21-15 yesterday in the quarterfinals against the reigning European champions, Gail Ems and Donna Kellogg. Dropped the second game 12-21 and came back 21-17 in the decider in exactly an hour of action. So Gao Ling and Huang Sui, of course, as 3 times world champions, Olympic silver medalists as well in Athens. And for Gao Ling, only the 2nd player in history to have a full set of Olympic medals. First player, of course, being Gil Yang from Korea. Lina of Malaysia. So when you look at the career history between these 2 pairs, you look at the fact that the reigning world champions have won 29 career titles. Compare that to the Japanese, who've only won 2 titles. The first being the Scottish Open, which is one of the international circuit events, not Grand Prix status. That was in 2003, but did win their only Grand Prix title at the Danish Open 2 years ago, when indeed they did beat the European champions in the final, Ems and Kellogg. Japanese pair, bronze medalists at the Asian Games in Doha. This their 3rd semi-final of the year. The Malaysian Open, the first ever Super Series event, and then the Asian Badminton Championships in Johor Bahru. But I think probably what is of note when they reached the semi-final of that Malaysian Open in January earlier this year was that in the quarter-final they beat the number 2 seeds Yang Wei and Zhang Jiewen, Olympic champions of course, that pair, and they will be in action in the adjoining court, the last match of the day.
On my right, Gao Ling, Huang, China, and on my left, Ogura, Shiota, Japan. Gao Ling serve, Shiota, love all, play.
Gao Ling gets this women's doubles semi-final underway. Ogura, 24 years of age, the taller of the 2 Japanese players, sporting the shorter haircut.
Service over, 1-all.
That's a wonderful shot from Gao Ling. Of course, she was in action the very first of our semi-finals with Zheng Bo. And they beat the Indonesians, Flandi Limpele and Vita Marissa, in 3 tough games. And to be honest, it doesn't seem that long since she was on court. And of course, Jim, one has to say that the 3 times world champions are overwhelming favourites. But I can't help but think back to that quarter-final encounter at the Malaysian Super Series event when the Japanese pair beat the Olympic champions in a terrific match. So they'll have confidence that they can beat the top Chinese pair.
They have confidence. And it's like this, when you have proven you can do it one time, why not do it again and again? And they surely have one of the best coaches out there by the side, Park Yobong, who's been having a so far very successful tournament, also with the men's doubles yesterday, beating the top pair of Malaysia. So yes, everything is in there for a good result.
It's incredible the influence I think that Park Yobong has had on really every squad he's worked with. He's worked with the English players, the Malaysians, and now he's with the Japanese team. And of course, Park Yobong himself, former world champion in both the men's doubles and mixed doubles. Oh, that's lovely. Great anticipation from Huang. And I guess we should expect to see some long rallies, just as we did in the women's doubles match.
Very long rallies. We spoke about it yesterday. It's because of the kind of like the defense from the girls are so much better nowadays than they used to be, and they clearly don't have the strength to jump smash and to have really hard smashes yet that they can get through the opponent. So it's gonna be long rallies, waiting for the opportunity, for the clear chance to kill it.
And just to emphasize your point, the defensive qualities within that rally, absolutely extraordinary.
You see, the Japanese had 2 clear chances of killing it, and then the Chinese still got it over. Then it's gonna be long rallies.
That was a little wild. Oh, that's a beautiful disguise on the drop shot. And as we were saying in the men's singles, desperately difficult for the players to concentrate. So many of the fans here in Malaysia concentrating their efforts on the adjoining court where the Malaysian men's doubles semi-final is taking place.
7-all.
That's a good flick serve.
Playing well right now. More aggressive, the Chinese. The Japanese pair not really in it right now.
No, too flat, long of that back line. And she always seems to smile her way through matches. And she certainly won't be happy with the quality of that shot.
I think you must say that a ladies doubles nowadays, it must be mentally very, very, very hard. Because you know it's gonna be like really, really long rallies all the time. So it's about staying in there.
Oh, that's an extraordinary shot. A lovely change of pace. Good anticipation. Good rally. So the 3-point advantage for the defending champions at the mid-game interval. Really doesn't let up when she gets to the front of the court, Gao Ling. Decisive. And just to let you know, the roar from the crowd is the fact that in the second game of that men's doubles semi-final, it's 25 all. Of course, you have to have a 2 clear point winning margin, unless of course it got to 30 to 29 all. So Noriko Shiota encouraging her partner. I think the most difficult thing is for them to concentrate with all this noise. That's well wide.
The Japanese pair is just not able right now to keep up with the pace from the Chinese, and that mean eventually it could be long rallies, but Chinese are having the upper hand by the speed they're using. So they will do mistakes like this now. They're just much faster in their game.
It's extraordinary though, because from 8 all, suddenly the Chinese have piled on the pressure, 5 quick points, and a totally different complexion on the game.
Yeah.
Huang Sui just having a quick look across at court number 2. And she just asks her opponents to hold for a moment while the noise of the crowd subsides, because the Malaysians have just gone out in the semi-final. Jin Tan Fook and Lee Wan Hua, of course, the Malaysian men's doubles pair on the adjoining court.
Service over, 14-11.
Great defensive drive from Gao Ling. Indication of how early she's taking the defensive shot, the fact that she is able to use the crouch defense rather than the normal underarm shot.
Good shot.
15,
Seems like the Chinese pair is taking all the easy points, and where the Japanese has to work for all the points. It's not a good thing.
Service over, 12-15.
Yes, clearly long. Shuttle taken by the drift in this arena. Going faster towards that far side of the court as we look down. That's good control.
Very well played. Sees the gap and uses it straight away. Already there, she sees the gap. Well played.
The luck of the net cord from Gao Ling.
Over,
When I say the luck of the net cord, seems to do it so often, I'm not sure it is luck.
I used to say, well, if you're the opponent, you would say luck, but they're practicing so much every day. It's not luck anymore.
That's so clever.
17-13.
Well, probably the best all-round doubles player of the generation, Gao Ling.
Not only that, I think she's the one that earned the most prize money this year of all players in badminton.
Including more than Lin Dan?
Yes, because she's competing in 2 events, and the difference is not so high anymore. That she's actually the best paid.
Well, that's a rarity, an error from Gao Ling.
It's funny, I thought the Chinese has been playing quite well at this set, but the Japanese are still in it. It's only 2 points. We've seen it so far. Suddenly it can change like this. We have to see if Gao Ling is smart enough not to let that happen.
One set, Gao Ling. Service
Her
over,
presence at the net is
18-15.
such a deterrent for opponents, isn't it? You see Gao Ling coming forward and you immediately panic and sort of think, how am I going to get it past her?
Yeah. That's the influence she have on her opponent.
Just wide.
Service over,
It's a well-placed smash though.
18.
A little bit unlucky. It's difficult for the Japanese to get it at least long, and you know when they can't get a long defense, Gao Ling will be ready at the net after that.
well, right to go for it at the net, Reiko Shiota.
But that's the kind of respect they give the Chinese players, that you've seen they made so many good saves in this set, and then suddenly they feel you have to give it a little bit more than that, and then you will make mistakes.
Yeah, first opportunity to close out the opening game, and taken quite comprehensively from Gao Ling.
I think you can say that the Chinese pair here is the Gao Ling and Huang is the only pair you see where they really put the smash in favor for the front girl to get in the next one, because Gao Ling's partner Shiota knows that Gao Ling is so good at the net that she needs to hit it in her area. So they have kind of a tactic that when we hit it there, she knows that 9 out of 10 times Gao Ling would have the chance to kill it.
20 minutes of action for that opening game. Gao Ling, 7 World Championship medals and another 2 guaranteed this year. Ling Yongbo and Tian Bingyi both in attendance at the change of ends. Of course, they together won 2 World Championship titles. And there is Park Jubong, the taller of the 2 men. Great player, first ever Olympic champion with Kim Dong-moo in the men's doubles. Body language actually concerning me a little bit there, Jim. Whilst they're nodding at each other, shoulders seem to be slumped over a little bit.
Doesn't look like winners, does it?
No.
No. They have to show some attitude now to get back in this game, or else
Yeah.
Second game.
No way.
Love ball. Play.
Looks also like the both Park and the other Japanese coach was talking really hard to them.
Very, very interesting what
See again, she's just keeping it down. Shiota hitting it hard so Gao Ling can get in it.
Yeah, I just want to pick up on that point because that's fascinating, because when we were watching the quarterfinal yesterday involving the Japanese pair, we were saying they didn't seem to be setting it up for their partner at the net, and that is the big contrast, as you've already pointed out, with the Chinese pair, that Wang Sui really sets it up for her partner. And when I was a youngster, my first ever coach said to me, the idea of doubles is to make your partner look good. Always set it up for your partner.
Exactly. That's the main thing you do in doubles nowadays. And then if you're not doing that, I don't think you can really win anything. And maybe this is where the Chinese have a big advantage compared to, because I don't think the Japanese are not just, they're just as good badminton players, and they're also very, very fit. They've shown that a lot. But they need to be able to train this more. And you can see, actually, the Chinese pair today, compared to what we saw yesterday, are much more aggressive. So they have to take a look at what the Chinese women's doubles are doing. They are not just playing it all without any kind of idea what they're doing. They have an idea what everything they're doing.
Planning 2 or 3 shots in advance. Yeah.
See, this is what happens when you don't have a tactic with your partner. She tries to kill it on the smash, where you can see Shiota has been hitting hard so Gao Ling can get in it. That's the big difference between these two now. Now it's only for the Chinese. Every time the Japanese are smashing, it's just to get it over, because they know nobody's going to be ready.
Oh, that's beautiful.
6-1.
And quite frankly, at the moment, we're having a masterclass from the Chinese pair.
that's true. Let's see. I know the Japanese won this rally, but look how much the Chinese are in offense. All the time they're in offense. A good defensive stroke there, but they're in offense. What I see from most other women's double is they like to clear and drop and just play it around, and that's why they can't follow these Chinese. That's also how in China Masters, if you saw that final, that's how the Indonesians won it. They took the game to the Chinese, and suddenly they had a chance, and they won it. If you go in there and think you're just gonna be there for 2 hours playing it around, you will lose.
Just long. I have to say, I think that's something where women's doubles in general went very wrong in the 80s, because the Chinese came into the World Federation and they were so strong in defence and they were so physically fit that everybody said that we've just got to work on defence, we've got to work on fitness, that's the way you play women's doubles. And I think with Gefei and Gu Jun, of course former world champions, who were very aggressive in their style of play, and nobody could see beyond the fact that they were fit and fast and good defence. But nowadays you look at Gao Ling and Huang Sui, and they are aggressive in their style. It's not just about good defences.
No. It's a little bit what happened in men's doubles a few years ago. Now Denmark had a very good run, winning some doubles titles. We also said, okay, it's not only about just being this and this and this. We gotta find some systems, and we did find some systems. For example, Lars Påske and Jonas Rasmussen were very good at it. Became world champions. Took the game to, for example, Vijaya and Sigurd, where normally Denmark players would be afraid of taking the game to their opponents, because they know that most of the Indonesians and Malaysians and Chinese are so fast and this and this and this. But they took the game to them and they won. And
do you think partly the fact that back in the dark ages when I was a player, that there wasn't the money in the sport and therefore we didn't all have coaches, and therefore players thought for themselves more and thought out the tactics, whereas now we rely so much on coaches for our development of our players? One extent it's a very, very good thing, but another point of it is that I think players get into the routine and they're not thinking for themselves about tactically, if I hit this here, where is the reply going to come to?
If I was a country, now I am, of course, but what I would prefer is that the young, if you take all the young players in countries, that they didn't have this coaching that we're having right now, with the coach allowed to shout in and give tactics all the time, because the players will not learn to think for themselves. We have a kind of a situation where you can be overcoached, and basically what you do is you see some players looking out at the coach if it's not working and say, hey, this is your fault, what can I do, what do I have to do now? And clearly that's not the right thing to do. You have to be able to do it yourself. You can get advice from the coach and also motivation, and you can know there's a guy from there, but basically
we're an individual sport, and it should be a test of the individual or the pair.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
So if you can imagine how we were brought up, where we had to think a little bit ourselves. I say, in my point of view, only a little bit. I'm not thinking so much. No, but you can say if you start us to compete in a high level at 12, and you have a coach all the time who says, do this, do that, play there, you never learn to do it yourself.
It's a great rally. Oh my word.
Wonderful.
Huang Sui working so hard in that rally. She's a very fit lady. And of course, because we talk about the greatness of Gao Ling and she's such an influence on the match, that I think there's a tendency not to really notice Huang Sui and the quality of her as a player, but she really is a phenomenal women's doubles player.
You have to, there's sometimes when you have a doubles pair, there's a where you can say one player working hard and the other player putting the finishes, the cream on the cake, you can say. You have the likes of where you had Martin Lundgaard and Jens Eriksen, where you can say Martin Lundgaard is working really hard from the back, doing his thing, but it's Jens Eriksen who wins the points. But if Jens Eriksen has to have a chance of winning the points, it's up to Martin Lundgaard. So there's a little bit of, doubles is a relationship. It has to work. It can't be just one player. If it's only one player, you will not win anything.
The defending champions with this 5-point advantage in the second game, having taken the first 21-16.
11-6. Play.
Very much looking as if they're in the driver's seat.
Service over. 7-11.
Very, very important that the Japanese pair win a couple of quick points here and get themselves right back into this second game. Yeah, but it's not just the anticipation, it's the fact that the shuttle's been hit in the right place so that the reply will come back into the hitting zone of the player at the net. Exactly what former world #1 Jim Laurgerson has been telling us.
Service over. 8-12.
That smash from Ogura, 183 kilometers an hour.
Wait.
It's gone long. So difficult on the defence from this near side of the court because you've got to get a good length on it, but then the shuttle tends to get caught the drift. Goes long because you certainly can't afford to hit short when Huang Sui is thundering down those smashes from the back of the court. Oh, dream of a shot.
There you can see the difference. You had the Chinese in offense for the most of the rally. Suddenly the Japanese played good defense. Then they had. And she's just hitting it with no idea. And then what happens? Her partner has no chance of getting it. That is not happening to the Chinese players because they are hitting it with a purpose. They are hitting it so they know the partner is going to get it.
Now just take a look at Huang Sui's serve here. She has a most peculiar service action, throws her head back as she's hitting the shuttle. That's got to be not in the coaching manuals, I wouldn't have thought.
Gotta hurt.
Oh, terrific.
That is the difference. Look at that. She knows it. Look, she's going. She knows it's going to come. See, way before.
Yeah, she'd moved forward to the net even before Japanese player had hit the shot. They look resigned, don't they?
That is a funny thing she's doing with her head.
Service over.
Maybe it's Gao Ling who's pulling her, what's it called, ponytail.
Well, a big smile even after that error from Gao Ling. Once again, physically.
After a rally like that, I wouldn't be smiling.
No, nor would I.
Here we go again. You see, this is what I mean. That
you don't like this sort
I
of
really
bumping.
don't like it because it's been like 10, 15 seconds ago that the rally stopped, and now after that they're allowed to go out. And we saw the first match today; they weren't allowed. It's also difficult for the players.
Yes, and I think that the pertinent point is the fact that under the new scoring system, apart from women's singles, I think all other disciplines, all the other 4 disciplines, are physically easier than it used to be under the old scoring system. And the physical test is part of the battle, part of the determination as to who's going to win the match. And if the physical side is not really tested because you're allowed to towel down, well, I think it loses part of its intrigue.
That's part of badminton.
Exactly. Now it's nicely done from Ogura. Took her chance coming forward.
Oi.
Oh, Shiota did so well to keep the Japanese pair in the rally. And then a really rather simple error on defence from Ogura.
Only defense by the Japanese.
Missed it. 241 kilometers an hour, a smash in that rally.
I can't help sitting here as a player. I was a very aggressive player. I can't help to sit and favor the Chinese a little bit here because I really like their style of playing compared to the other ones. I need to see some more action from the Japanese. If you want to get the crowd going too, you need to do something.
13.
It was going wide, wasn't it?
Well, if you like playing badminton, you take it.
Service over 14-17.
Yes, gulping in big breaths of air.
Did that rally take 1 minute or something? What is the longest rally ever?
Oh, crikey, don't ask me that. But I'm sure it was in a women's doubles.
No. I remember one. Was it Frost again? Morten Frost against Ichuk Sugiyato at the Wimbledon? Oh, sorry, All England.
At the All England Championships.
Something like 80 clears in a row.
Now Morten tells me it was at least 90.
Yeah. Well, he won it. He doesn't care.
Well, the body language tells the story. This is grueling badminton. Well, there we were saying, don't give the players a break. It should be a physical test. And my goodness, this is a physical test. Yes, rally so long, the players having to ask the umpire who was serving there. It is Gao Ling. Incredible. Just wide.
Service over 15-18.
We both agree on we are supporting the attacking part of ladies double. Could it be an idea to change the scoring system a little bit?
Don't start me on that.
No, but to favor the attacking game, you know, to favor to try and take points. Just an idea I just came up with.
Well, when you look at other sports, and attacking play has been encouraged in soccer and rugby and cricket. Change of scoring or change of points awarded for a try or for a win in a football
Table
match.
tennis is down to 11 now.
Yeah.
Or ping pong.
Yeah. But we won't go there. We won't go on that subject.
But my meaning, of course, is that it favors to try and take points instead of just keep it in play. And you wouldn't have the nerve to just playing around, because then you would maybe be down by a set or two.
Just 2 points the deficit.
Service over. 20. Match point 17.
But now 3 match points for the 3 times champions of the world.
Service over.
So 1 match point saved by Ogura and Shiota. Great fighting spirit by the Japanese pair. Terrific determination from the number 6 seeds from Japan. 20 points all. And we'll have to play extra points until there's a 2 clear point winning margin. Unbelievable. The perfect net shot from Reiko Shiota. Four straight points, and more importantly, a game point for the Japanese pair to level this semi-final at 1 game apiece.
Smart smash, very smart. She putted it a little bit.
Yes, aiming towards the right hip of Shiota. Different pace, different angle. Perfect placement. Well, having saved 3 game points, now the Japanese, their second game point. And the umpire saying, no, you can't go and towel down, play on. Rightly so. Chinese coaching staff looking a little bit concerned. She is such a class act, Gao Ling. Tactically so astute, plays the big points so incredibly well. The outright winner with the smash placed it in such a position that it was impossible for Ogura to get the return. 22 all. Pushed it long. And so for the fourth time in total, the defending champions have an opportunity to make it to their 5th World Championship final. Are allowed to towel down. Match point number 4. Great placement of the block from Shiota. Well, the Japanese coach can barely watch this. Game point number 3 for the Japanese. And the luck of the net cord. And it's proved to be 3rd time lucky. The number 6 seeds have come back against the defending champions. They've saved 4 match points and they've sent this semi-final to a decider. Their confirmation of the score, 25-23. And I wonder psychologically what effect that will have on the defending champions. 4 opportunities came and went, and now, having looked despondent after the opening game, the Japanese pair looking very buoyant indeed.
石だから絶対なんとか取る最後まで床までさっき言った床まで大丈夫あとパタンとは全然大丈夫だったら成功して
Hot 1, 20 seconds. Hot 1, 20 seconds.
Well, I just wonder how many people would have predicted this.
Final game. Love all. Play.
Final game. Women's doubles semi-final at the World Championships. The defending champions nearest to us.
Service over.
Huang Sui,
Top.
26 years of age, born in Yiyang in Hunan province, recently married. 4 match points, and they couldn't convert.
Service over. 1-all.
And that is where Gao Ling is so good. The interception at the net, the decisive move. Oh, it's landed in. Misjudgment from Shiota.
3-2.
Well, they had to go the full distance very late last night, did the defending champions against the European champions and number 5 seeds, Donna Kellogg and Gail Ems. Hour in duration, that quarter-final. As that thundered down smash, 249 kilometres an hour. And the significance of playing an hour's match last night, and of course Gao Ling having already played one semi-final earlier today that went the full distance. And the fact is that this women's doubles semi-final has already been in duration for exactly 1 hour. Said that this would be physically demanding. Didn't realise it would be quite as demanding as this. No wonder she's frustrated. They had their opponents pulled way out of position. All she really had to do was get it over the net and it would have been a winner. tied.
7-2.
6 points in a row for the defending champions. From 1-2 down to 7-2 up in this deciding game. Yeah, that's good attacking play from Gao Ling and Wang Sui. Smash from the back of the court and then looking to come forward, Gao Ling. And that's really where she is so dominant from the front of the court. Landed in.
Service over. 3-8.
Struggling. Very fatigued, desperate to get forward to the front of the court, let her partner do the work from the back. There she goes again, charging forward. See Gao Ling's movement at the back of the court. Look, she's almost at standstill. And then suddenly an explosion of pace that makes all the difference. Look, she is so tired. And that's not surprising when you consider it in the mixed doubles semi-final, the first match on court with Jen Bo in defeating Flandre Limpele and Vita Marissa. That took an hour and 8 minutes. This semi-final of the women's doubles has already been in progress an hour and 5 minutes. Yeah.
10-4.
Very good from Wang Sui. Big effort on this one to get behind the shuttle, get her feet in position to play the winning smash.
11-4. Interval. Change ends.
Well, a 7-point advantage And despite the fact that Gao Ling looks absolutely out on her feet, and that's an indication of the class of the player. But of course, the defending champions have the more difficult end now for the last part of this match. Hitting against the drift, against the wind, which means it's much more difficult to get those smashes down on the floor.
Ogura. Players. Players. Ogura. Ogura.
Umpire trying to get the players back on court.
Play.
That's long of the back line, and I think that was important as far as the Chinese pair were concerned, to immediately get their score moving on, and they're at the more difficult end. Oh, that's beautiful play from Huang Sui. Great awareness. Yes, now making it look very simple, the Chinese pair not going for the big smashes from that far side because it's so difficult to get the shuttle down, hitting against the drift, and therefore they're just taking the pace off the smash, making sure it's going in a downward direction. Therefore opponents have to put pace on the defensive shot themselves, and therefore they're lifting along of the back line. Well, still looks a little nervous, Lee Yongbo. But I can't believe that the Chinese won't close out the match now. 9 points. Even 11-point advantage.
Service over. 5-15.
Pushed it wide.
Service over. 16-5.
And Park Dubong. Yeah, well, his players put up a wonderful fight. But it's all gone wrong for them in this deciding game. And that's because of the quality of the defending champions. There's a reason why they've won the world title 3 times. And it's champion status. Oh yes.
18-5.
They've been asked some very difficult questions of Gao Ling and Huang Sui. And in this deciding game, they've found all the answers.
over 6-18.
12-point deficit.
Service over 19-6.
It's well long of the back line.
20.
And having been unable to convert 4 match points in that second game, now 14 match points for the defending champions. And it's long. The big smiles from Gao Ling and Huang. They will be kicking themselves that they didn't convert in the second game on one of those 4 opportunities. They had to play the extra game, and that has taken its physical toll, I'm sure, on Gao Ling, and she secures her place in her second final at these 16th World Badminton Championships. Of course, already in the mixed doubles and now in the women's doubles as well. An hour and 12 minutes, this women's doubles, and when you consider it was an hour and 8 minutes in the mixed doubles, Gao Ling is going to have tired legs tonight, that's for sure.